All right. Thank goodness for Jackson Merrill's defense. Thank goodness for Fernando Tatis Jr.'s defense. Thank goodness for Luis Arraez. And thank goodness for an incredible night from the pitching staff. Another 1-0 shutout win for the Padres this year. It's their fifth 1-0 win of the season. Fifth. That's a crazy number. I mean, most teams don't have 5 1-0 shutout wins in an entire year. Padres already have 5, and we're not even at the All-Star break yet. So make your way in. It's the wrap-up show. If you haven't yet, hit the subscribe button, hit that like button. Yes, it's a Jim solo show tonight. I'll try to get to as many of your questions as possible. All super chats will be read on the show tonight. So make your way in, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We're on the march to 10,000 subscribers, guys. We are inching closer to 10,000 subscribers. We can only do it with your help. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. It helps with the algorithm and whatnot. But overall, like I said, thank goodness for Luis Arraez, because without him, we're probably still playing baseball right now. And, you take these 1-0 wins and you just bank them. The offense, still an issue. Merrill Kelly looked like, Greg Maddux in his prime tonight. Jackson Merrill still struggling at the plate. It wasn't pretty, but the pitching, the defense, all came through tonight. And the timely hit from Luis Arraez there, who has been hot. He has been the one player that has been really hot for this team, along with Manny Machado. So, coming through tonight in a moment where, you needed just something from somebody. Just can anybody on this team do something? And Luis Arraez did. He's now had, he has 5 home runs on the year. Him and Jackson Merrill and Xander Bogaerts all have 5 home runs on the season, which is kind of wild. Who's going to have more home runs this year? Jackson Merrill, Luis Arraez, or Xander Bogaerts? They all got 5, and it's July 8th. So we'll see who has the most home runs at the end of the year. But, tonight was all about pitching and defense. And the thing with this team, we've been trying to come up with what's the team identity, right? What's the team identity? I think it's pretty simple. It's pitching and it's defense, and it's the bullpen. This team offensively, I just feel like it's just going to be a grind for them all year long. They're going to have, I think, moments, and they can get hot in stretches, but overall, at some point in your season, you just kind of are who you are. And right now, what this team is a team that has lights out pitching, especially from their bullpen. Adrian Morejon is becoming as automatic as it gets out of that bullpen. Jason Adam, all-star, automatic. Jeremiah Estrada, for the most part, automatic out of that bullpen. And for the struggles that Robert Suarez has had this year, named to the all-star team earlier today, did he deserve it? I mean, the guy's got, how many saves he has on the year? I mean, he's either leading the National League or he is second. I mean, he's got 26 saves on the season, guys. His ERA, not great. But, for the most part, Robert Suarez has been pretty good this year with the occasional hiccup or two. So yeah, that's the team identity. That is who they are. They are a pitching and defense first team. Now, the defense hasn't been lights out this year, but tonight, this game would have been ugly if not for Jackson Merrill and Fernando Tatis Jr. just robbing home runs left and right. But that's who they are. They are going to win a majority of their games from their pitching and their defense, not the other way around, because they're not going to win a bunch of games here this season and lean on their offense, because their offense still is an issue. Tonight, they had no at-bats with runners in scoring position. They were 0 for 0 with runners in scoring position tonight. They didn't get anybody to second base other than Luis Arraez, rounding second base and off of his home run. Merrill Kelly absolutely shoved, and he made one mistake. And now that's all they needed. That's all the Padres needed tonight was one mistake. They made it stick, and they pick up the victory. 1-0 victories, you don't really complain about them too much. You just say, thank you, and you move on. Now, the bigger picture with this team still is the offense has not changed. Nothing has just magically, flipped here in the last couple days with this offense. But when you look at the team as it's constructed right now, getting another bat, it's a must, an absolute must. And making sure that you have these, when you get in a 1-0 lead, it's almost like you got to make that thing stick. Because the thing with this team is right now, they're not going to be able to add on. The team, for the most part, is not going to be able to come back that much. They're not a comeback team. They're not a, hey, we're down 4 runs, we're all good. We'll make that up. No, they go down 4 runs, game's most likely over. So they're going to have to make these 1-0 leads stick, and they did that tonight. Now, it wasn't like Padres scored a run in the second inning and they made it stick the entire night, but still, their 5th 1-0 victory of the year. It's their 16th shutout of the season. I believe I have that correct. I'll have to count that up, but for the most part this year, excuse me, the pitching staff has carried this team. The bullpen has carried this team. Offense, not really so much. But they made it stick tonight, and thank goodness, because if Jackson Merrill, something in my throat, jeez, Jackson Merrill and Fernando Tatis Jr. don't make those really amazing catches, they lose this game. 13 shutouts. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate that. 13 shutouts on the year, 5 1-0 wins on the season in the first half. That just, to me, when we're talking about, hey, what's the team identity? Oh, yeah, that's right. It's pitching and it's defense, and that's how they're going to have to win their majority of their games going forward. So we'll get to all your or most of your comments tonight. We'll get to all your super chats as well. I already see people putting super chats in there. It's a solo show. Solo show. Say that 5 times fast. For the rest of the week, John is on assignment. Soft. They're 1-0 without John this week. So I know you all say, hey, Jim, never come back because the Padres keep winning. Well, they're 1-0 without John. So looks like John's going to have to stay in New York for the foreseeable future. Yeah, dude, I'm reading the chat right now. I'll try to get to as many as chats as possible. But yeah, right before the show started, I saw the walk-off inside the park home run by the Giants. Like, huh? What? That was crazy. But anyway, let's get to some super chats here to start off the show. Again, if you have not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. What are you doing? Hit that like button. Helps with the algorithm. We are less than 1,200 subs away from 10,000. We need to get 10,000 subs like yesterday. So if you have not hit the subscribe button, hit that like button, and we'll go over everything that happened in tonight's game, in tonight's show. But it's first up, get up to No Mama. Thanks for the super No Mama opinion. Brown and orange for City Connect. Yeah. They will be getting a new City Connect jersey next year. This is the last year of the City Connect pink and lime green jerseys. I'm sorry to say, thank goodness for that. Yeah, I said it. Yeah, that'd be cool. Next year, get a new City Connect jersey. I'm seeing a lot of people in the chat already right now. Who you guys want me to bring on as a special guest? There's a couple names I probably won't do, but yeah, I think we're just going to go solo here for the rest of the week. Again, just a reminder, no show on Friday. We have a show tomorrow night and Thursday night, but I'll be in Vegas this weekend, so we'll be back on Sunday. Me and John, I believe me and John will be back. But getting into the rest of this game tonight, I mean, to be honest with you, not a lot happened. Padres didn't even have one person in scoring position all night long. Luis Arraez was the hero of tonight, along with Jackson Merrill and Fernando Tatis Jr. And I thought Nick Pivetta, he's been their best pitcher this year. Scraby. Maybe. Nick Pivetta has been their best pitcher this season. Their most consistent pitcher, their best pitcher. And it's crazy because when they signed him, they did not sign him for that specific role. They signed him to fortify the number 4 spot in their rotation. Yet he's put up a fantastic year, working out of jams today, bases loaded, nobody out, strikes out the side. Like, I think Nick Pivetta has been one of, if not, well, I can't say the best, but he's definitely been one of the best free agent pickups in all of baseball this year. Bring on Eric Hosmer. Yeah, I don't think Eric Hosmer would want to join me on this podcast. I don't think he would. But yeah, bring on Profar. Yeah, I don't think I'd be able to bring on Jurickson Profar. John doesn't want his space. Scraby. Who? But back to Nick Pivetta. He's been one of the best free agent signings in all baseball. Just flat out, he has carried this rotation. He's got a 3.07 ERA this year, 102 innings pitched, 114 strikeouts. He's got a 103 whip. He's 9-2 on the year. You could start talking now about, like, was this guy snubbed from the All-Star team? Like, that's how good of a first half Nick Pivetta has had for the Padres. Like, if he was on the All-Star team, I don't think many people would be like complaining about that. He's got 114 strikeouts and 102 and 2/3 innings pitched. He's 9-2 on the year. Where would this team be without Nick Pivetta? He has been just absolutely nails for this team. And now if they can just get guys like Dylan Cease, who pitches tomorrow night, going, if they can have Yu Darvish make a start every 5th day and be healthy, and then you get Michael King back in August, then you're cooking. Then you're cooking with a rotation that, coming out of camp this year, that was the goal. Like, the rotation, the vision of the rotation coming out of spring training this year was Nick Pivetta, Dylan Cease, Yu Darvish, Michael King. And they haven't had that one time this year. Not one time have they had that turn in the rotation. Go Pivetta, Cease, King, Darvish, and then, whoever is your 5th starter. So I know everybody will be looking forward to that. It is a nice rotation. I think coming out of spring, I said, look, this rotation, if healthy, and that was obviously the biggest question, is like, if healthy. That's always the biggest question in sports. Can they stay healthy? And for the most part, no. For the most part, you don't get a fully healthy roster for an entire season. You just got to make sure that your roster is healthy at the right time in a season. And hopefully Darvish stays back in rotation. Hopefully Michael King returns middle of August or so. And now you're cooking. And then you add a bat or two, and we'll see what happens. But overall, Nick Pivetta has been, he's just been an amazing addition to this team. Kind of a last-minute signing. No one really thought that this would be possible to bring in Nick Pivetta. And he ended up turning out to be, so far, their best pitcher in their rotation. And it's not even up for debate. He's had a much better year than Dylan Cease. You're not taking guys like Stephen Kolek or Randy Vasquez, even though they've had nice years, over what Nick Pivetta has done this year. Nick Pivetta is their ace right now. Nick Pivetta is their ace. And until someone takes over that spot, until Dylan Cease can, finally join the 2025 season and be consistent and Michael King returns and Yu Darvish can show that he can stay healthy, Nick Pivetta is this team's ace right now. You look forward to watching Nick Pivetta pitch every fifth day. I didn't think I'd be saying that at the start of the season. Man, I can't wait till Nick Pivetta pitches. I thought it was a great addition for this team, but I don't know if you could have imagined him to be this good. Borderline. I mean, he is a borderline all-star, probably should be on the all-star team, to be honest with you. Yeah, I agree with you, Steven. I love Nick Pivetta's emotion. It's something that this team has kind of lacked this year. Bringing the vibes to the team, the emotion, and you saw it from Nick Pivetta tonight. You just wish that his emotion rubbed off on the offense, and that the offense would pick it up here a little bit. But again, beggars can't be choosers in a win, even though it wasn't like from the offensive standpoint tonight pretty. The pitching side of it was really good. And it kind of just flipped in my head tonight watching this game. Like, this is who this team is. Like, this is the 2025 San Diego Padres. Extremely frustrating offense, great pitching, and good defense. Now, tonight was exceptional defense, but, they're not going to be robbing home runs every single night. Jackson Merrill's had a couple, home runs that he's robbed in the last couple games here, which is fantastic. And then Fernando Tatis Jr. is a platinum gold glove outfielder. But that's how they're going to have to win games. That is your 2025 San Diego Padres, pitching and defense. And hopefully you can get some timely hitting. Like you say, hopefully. It's not something you want to rely on, is what I'm saying. If you're going to rely on this team and expect this team to, put up 4, 5, hell, even 6 runs a game. 6 runs a game would be ridiculous, but you get my point. Probably shouldn't hold your breath on that, because they aren't going to be an offense that puts up 4 or 5 runs a game. They're going to be an offense that occasionally would get 4 or 5 runs a game. But for the most part, they're living in the, 1, 2, 3 runs, and can you make it stick? And if you get more than 3 runs, then you're going to have to win majority of those games, because you're not a team that is consistently going to be putting up 4 or 5 runs an outing. Tonight you got 1 run and you made it stick. That's kind of the formula going forward. Their 5th 1-0 win of the season. Let's get to some more super chats here. Thank you, Mauricio Machado, for the super chat. He says, Giants inside the park walk-off home run, SMH. If we finish above them, we should be good to make the playoffs. They may be the biggest threat. Thanks for the super, buddy. Appreciate it. Yeah, if I'm looking at the standings right now, I'll just pull this up right here. So if the season ended today, the Padres would be out of the playoff picture. They would be a game behind the Giants. Milwaukee is a game and a half behind Philadelphia and the Mets for the top wild card spot. The Mets and Phillies are tied in the division, so both of them are listed here in the wild card standings. One of them would be the wild card team, and they would be the top wild card team, followed by Milwaukee, who once again beat the Dodgers tonight. We'll have that discussion here in a bit. Dodgers have lost, I think, 5 in a row. Yeah, Dodgers have lost 5 in a row. And now maybe your time to pounce for the Padres. But getting back to the standings here, Milwaukee, they're sitting in second place in the wild card. The Giants, they're holding right now the third wild card spot, and the Padres are a game behind them at 49 and 42. I would agree with you, Mauricio. The Giants are a team that I don't know if they're going to go away. I don't consider them like a World Series contender, but I do consider them a absolute, playoff contender for sure. And the reason is because of their pitching. They have 2 all-star pitchers at the front of the rotation, and they have one of the best bullpens in baseball. And they just added Rafi Devers, and I know Rafi Devers is going to bring some baggage to the team, but the guy can flat out hit. And you know what? He'll have a stretch this year where he gets red hot. So, yeah, absolutely. The Giants are a threat for sure. Arizona feels like they're going to be a team that's going to be hovering around 500 for the rest of the year unless they go on a hot stretch. But I'm looking at the Padres' biggest threat right now in the wild card chase. Yeah, I would probably have to put the Giants there. And one of the biggest things, too, why I put the Giants in that position is because you play the Giants a bunch here coming up in August. You know, you play St. Louis, who is right there with you in August. You play the Giants for 2 series in August. You play the Dodgers for 2 series in August. And, you know, you're going to be competing with them. You play the Mets here coming up here at the end of the month. Philadelphia, you play at the end of this homestand here. So yeah, Giants for sure are going to be in it. Biggest threat, potentially. All right. If you guys have not subscribed to the wrap up show, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. We got over 300 people here tonight watching. So yeah, just try to get to 10,000 subscribers here before the end of the year. That is the goal of the wrap up show. We are looking to get to 10,000 subscribers. Ideally, we would get to 10,000 subscribers like next week, but we are on the way to 10K. Thanks, Jeff, for the super chat, buddy. It says, I volunteer as tribute guest host by John. As guest host, maybe. Look, I think I can send invites to people. I think I can do that. But then it turns into kind of an S show a little bit. But hey, maybe if you want to join me later this week, Jeff, I'll shoot you an invite, and maybe we can get some interaction with everybody in the chat if they want to join while John is gone. I mean, we're not under like any FCC regulations here. It's not like the radio where it would be a little difficult to have guest hosts on the radio. I could call Coach. Hope it's not past his bedtime. Yeah, it's just hard. I mean, 10 o'clock at night. We'll see. I mean, truthfully, if I wasn't doing the wrap-up show, I'd be in bed right now, and we'd be watching Love Island. So it is what it is. All right, let's get to hold on here. You know, when you're doing a solo wrap-up show, get Tony on. Tony just did like 4 hours of radio today, along with 4 hours of calling a baseball game, and I don't think he wants to join me on the wrap-up show. As I was saying, you know, when you do a solo wrap-up show, taking you behind the curtain here, right? Man, you got to get everything ready to go. It's much easier, you know, when you have like just push of a button, everything's done for you. All right, let's get to our title sponsor, Mark Nimitz. Mark Nimitz has been our title sponsor of the wrap-up show since the very beginning. Before like we even had 10 subscribers, Mark was the title sponsor of the wrap-up show. If you have any insurance needs, Mark Nimitz is your man to go to. If you have car insurance, if you need house insurance, Mark can do it all for you. So if you're going to reach out to Mark, look at the ticker below. All his information is there. mnimitz@farmersagent.com. That's mnimitz@farmersagent.com. When you reach out to Mark for all your insurance needs, let him know that John and Jim from the wrap-up show sent you. Oh, all right. Let's get back to this. StreamYard has been kind of wonky these past couple days. It's funny. I still am seeing people in the chat who they want to have as a special guest here on the wrap-up show. Some of these people I don't even have the numbers for, guys. I can't. I don't even know how to reach these people. But yeah, we're just gonna do a solo tonight. So yeah, the floor is yours, guys. This game tonight, pretty simple game. Pitching, fantastic. Defense, fantastic. One home run made it stick. Seeing Jim take up the entire screen feels strange. Yeah, it does. It does. I have it all situated here to make sure that we have our sponsors on. We have the title above my head here. We got the ticker below. So I don't know why I did that, but anyway, maybe I need to update StreamYard. Well, I have updated StreamYard, James. I made sure to update this thing. Oh, here we go. Yeah, I'll bring on Howard Stern. That'll work. Let me just call up Howard. Perfect. Hey, Howard, you want to come on my YouTube channel and talk about the Padres? Oh, thanks, Johnny. I vote Jim staying solo. You're doing great, sweetie. Appreciate it, buddy. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, the floor is yours. Like I said, tonight's game, pretty straightforward. 1-0 win. Pitching was awesome. Defense was great. Thanks, Sean. He says, will one bat make that much of a difference? Potentially. I think, look, I've been saying this for the last month. All right. Even with how bad Elias Diaz, Martin Maldonado, Trenton Brooks, Bryce Johnson, Tyler Wade, Jose Iglesias, for as bad as those guys have been, right? And they've been awful. Don't get me wrong. They have been awful. If you went out and you upgraded one or two of those positions with average bats, would it make a difference? Yeah. Yes, it would make a difference. But would it make a big enough difference even if guys like Jackson Merrill and Fernando Tatis Jr. and Xander Bogaerts still aren't hitting? That's the whole thing here is those three guys that I mentioned, especially Tatis and especially Merrill, like those guys especially need to perform. And if they don't, you can bring in a bunch of average bats all you want. One, you're going to need those bats to produce at a pretty high clip if Merrill and Tatis aren't going to perform. And if those bats don't, you're a little better. But the whole point is to like upgrade and be a lot better. So going out and getting a couple average bats, I think it would make a difference because the bottom of the lineup is just, I mean, it is god awful. It is just god awful. But the main concern still rings is that Fernando Tatis Jr. and Jackson Merrill, those guys have to produce. And once those guys start producing, and if you bring in a couple average bats to replace the black holes that you have at the bottom of your lineup, along with guys on your bench, then this team is going to start probably ripping off, wins like they were at the beginning of the season. Because at the beginning of the season, you had a red hot Tatis and a red hot Jackson Merrill. And it wasn't like, Elias Diaz and Martin Maldonado were hitting like 800 out the gate. You're probably going to see this team go on a run if those two guys get hot. To me, that's more important than anything right now with this offense is getting those two players going. And if you get those two players going, along with the consistency of Manny Machado, coupled with Luis Arraez, who has been red hot of late, he's kind of, gotten back to Luis Arraez, the guy that we saw win a batting title last year. Then you're cooking, man. I'm not saying that you need like everybody in your lineup to be producing, but the top four, the four most important players in this lineup, Tatis, Merrill, Manny, and Arraez, those guys are producing. I'll contest that having Elias Diaz on this team isn't going to anchor them down to the point where they're losing more than they're winning. He'll be a problem, don't get me wrong. But a hot Merrill and a hot Tatis and a hot Manny and, Luis Arraez doing what he's doing, you can overcome those things. But I do agree they need to fix the bottom of the lineup for sure. 100%. All right, I see a bunch of chats here. I'll try to get to as many as I possibly can tonight. If you want to send in a super, greatly appreciate. We'll 100% get to all your supers tonight on the show. Let's see here. Johnny, thank you for commenting. He says, is Sheets playing well enough in left that we can just get the best hitter available and make them the DH? Very good question. Appreciate that, buddy. I would agree with that. You know, it started out rocky with Sheets in left field. It was not pretty. Like, I was scared for the wall out there for when Gavin Sheets was in left. I was more scared for the wall than I was for Gavin Sheets. And for the most part, the last couple weeks, he's been serviceable. You know, you aren't watching a guy out there that looks like he doesn't know what he's doing. He looks like he knows what he's doing. He looks like he can make all the routine plays. I mean, he's not going to be a Gold Glover out there. But when you have Jackson Merrill in center and Fernando Tatis Jr. in right, you don't need another Gold Glover in left field. You just need a guy that's serviceable. And Gavin Sheets has been serviceable defensively for you in left field this season. So I agree with you, Johnny. I think that, you know, I think Sheets is playing well enough defensively, and it's not like Gold Glove level, but it's just it's solid. And by him just playing solid defense out there, he's already an everyday player. And that means, yeah, go out and get the best bat you can. So then you can just make that person your everyday DH. And then you don't have to worry about, oh, well, we need a left fielder. Like in the future, yeah, probably need a left fielder. But shoot, if Gavin Sheets is going to just be serviceable for you in left field and make all the routine plays and still do what he's doing on offense, maybe he's the left fielder of the future. I don't know. Maybe they have a left fielder for the next couple of years in Gavin Sheets because he's under control for, you know, the next couple of seasons with this team, I think until 2028. So they might have their outfield set if Gavin Sheets continues to improve in left field defensively and, you know, stays at the level he is at offensively. Yeah. I think you have your left fielder if that's the case. Howard, thank you, buddy. He says Roman Anthony has been taking reps in left field for the Red Sox. What do you think are our chances at Jarren Duran? Are we willing to sell high on Morahone on a big bat? No on Jarren Duran. No on trading Adrian Morahone. Go out and find a right-handed bat. Jarren Duran's a lefty. He had a phenomenal season last year. There's no taking away from that. Dude had like a 9 WAR. It's ridiculous. But this team needs a right-handed bat. And if you're going to go out and trade for Jarren Duran, the Red Sox are going to ask you for like maybe Ethan Salas. And that ain't happening. Also, Adrian Morahone, at this point in time, look, I know this team needs a right-handed bat, like desperately. And they need a right-handed bat like we all need to, you know, breathe air. That's how desperate this team is to get a right-handed bat. But at the expense of Adrian Morahone, yeah, it's a no-go for me. Why would you go out there and subtract from your biggest strength on your team to go pick up a little above average right-handed bat? Like, look, if you're going out there and getting freaking Aaron Judge or Shohei Ohtani, Adrian Morahone, nice knowing you, buddy. But that's not happening. Hey, if you go getting Cal Raleigh, Adrian Morahone, I'll pack your bags for you. But that's not happening. So when you look at the market right now and you look at who's realistically out there, giving up Adrian Morahone for a slightly above average, maybe even just average right-handed bat doesn't make sense to me at all. Adrian Morahone is having the best season of his career. He is an absolute weapon for you out of that bullpen. And I'm not subtracting from the biggest strength of my team, which is the back end of your bullpen. By the way, you know, when I called the team or the you know, Estrada and Adam and Morahone and Suarez, the 4 horsemen, kind of sticks right now, doesn't it? Kind of sticks. 2 of them are all-stars. Another one should be an all-star. And Jeremiah Estrada is just like very solid for you. Did you guys know he struck out 13 batters in a row, by the way? If you don't watch Padres baseball, which I know everyone in the chat does, he struck out 13 guys in a row. That's kind of wild. All right, let's get to a couple more here. So we got Rocket. Thanks, buddy. Says, would you have pinch ran for Sheets in the 7th there, Jim? I understand why they pitch ran. They needed to try something. Obviously, they were, going to sub for defense anyway. But look, if you're going to pinch run, you can't get picked off, dude. You Bryce Johnson, bro, you can't get picked off there. Like, what are we doing? I think you might have saw my tweet, Rocket. Like, what is Bryce Johnson? Seriously? Come on, dude. You got like one job on this team. And that's defense and speed. It's the same thing with Brandon Locker. It's like, dude, you had one job on this team. And you fucked it up in LA because you can't like read a ball in the gap. And you've made multiple defensive lapses in left field this year. Like, you have one freaking job. Come on, get it right. Let's see here. Look at some more questions here from you guys. The Higgy thing, I mean, look, he had a great game against the Padres on Saturday. Ironically, I was there. But take away those numbers, he's had a worse season than like Martin Maldonado and Elias Diaz. Or at least he's had a season comparable to those guys. So here's the thing, G Rock and 80. I agree with you. Yes, he says we need to get an RBI clutch hitter. Tired of leaving runners in scoring position. I'm tired of watching that too. But here's the thing: tonight they didn't have a runner in scoring position. they went 0 with runners in scoring position, and there was nobody to have an at bat with a man at second tonight or third. Yeah, they didn't have anybody in scoring position. B. Johnson's cheeks, would agree. Find a way to land Sean Murphy. Yeah, here's the thing about Sean Murphy. He's going to cost you. All right. The dude is injured a lot. I think Sean Murphy would be a massive upgrade for this team. But the problem is the money and his health. And do the Braves even want to trade? Why would the Braves want to just like gut everything by having just one bad year, or they want to retool and reload for next year? I think Sean Murphy would be a good addition to this team. But when you look at guys like that, you got to weigh out like the cost of the player and the return that the team is going to want for that player. And for Sean Murphy, who's had a fine year, if I'm looking up his numbers right now, let me look him up real quick. So I know that I think he hit another home run again. Yeah. So Sean Murphy, this season, 225, 13 home runs, 31 RBIs, 787 OPS. Yeah, that's a massive upgrade at your catcher position. He's 30 years old. I'm not really worried about age because this team has freaking Martin Maldonado out there every day. So 30 is like actually extremely young compared to what the Padres have at the catcher position right now. But the main problem with Sean Murphy is he just doesn't stay fully healthy. He was injured last year. He was injured this year. In the last 3 seasons, 108 games, 72 games, 56 games. He's played more than 130 games one time in his career, and that was in 2022. And then he got his big contract in 2023. So yeah, it would be a massive upgrade. Don't get me wrong, massive upgrade. Just it would cost you a lot. I think it would cost you a lot, and I don't think this team is willing to go there. And not only cost you prospects, it will also cost you in the, pockets as well. And does this team have the resources to go out and add that much money to the payroll? I don't think so. Jen says, looks like we win when one of the boys goes on vacay. Jim, go to Hawaii again, and John, go to the East Coast again. I know. If this team rips off like 5 games in a row here while John is in New York, I probably will have to find a new co-host for the wrap-up show. Like, and take out the word probably. I will have to find a new co-host for the wrap-up show. And I will have to, get your guys' applications, because that's just the way it's going to be. If this team rips off 5 in a row and they don't lose while John is on the East Coast, John's out of a job potentially. All right, let's get to a couple more here before we get to SeatGeek. See some people in the chat talking about Luis Campusano. We're talking to Kevin Acee and this team's need for a right-handed bat. You have a right-handed bat in Luis Campusano, kind of just sitting there rotting in the minors, and you haven't really given him a that good of an opportunity yet at the big league level, without him having to look over his shoulder after every at bat if he doesn't, produce. Like, shit, is that the last at bat I'm going to have? Nobody can perform like that. Constantly looking over your shoulder. Give him a chance, at least just offensively. We had Kyle Glazer on the show on Monday, and that's what he says. Like, look, if Campy's coming up to the bigs, he needs to be their DH. Catching, it just feels like this team is completely out on Luis Campusano as a catcher behind the plate. And with that, just make him your DH, or at least put him in positions where he could hopefully succeed, and not have him be like, well, I went over tonight. Guess I'm not going to have an at bat for the next month. And the only at bat that you get is when, a position player's on the mound against the Dodgers. I mean, come on, man. Carlos. Oh, sorry, my bad. I didn't even see the super chat, buddy. Thank you for the super. He says, 1-0 ball game and people doing the effing wave. A disgrace to the game I love. Offense is shit. Not looking good. I booed half the players today. Here's the thing. I agree. The wave. Here's the rules on the wave. All right. I'm not like, you can never do the wave, but you can't do the wave in a close game. I agree with you there. If it's a close game, and by close game, I mean, at least 3 or 4 runs or less. Okay. You can't be doing the wave, dude, in a 1-0 game. I agree with you there, Carlos. I'm with you. Like, this team needs wins, and they need as many wins as they possibly can stack up. And if you're doing the wave when it's a 1-0 game, come on, man. Yeah. The offense is still shit. The offense was not good tonight. I agree. The offense, again, struggling. But luckily they made it stick. If you'd rather be on the winning side of a 1-0 game than the losing side, and having timely hitting from Luis Arraez and 2 amazing defensive plays from Merrill and Tatis, along with the pitching that you had, you got the job done tonight. Let's see here. Thank you, G Rockin. Potentially landing spots for Padres. Just saw Josh Naylor or Cedric Mullins. Who would you choose? I would choose Josh Naylor over Cedric Mullins. This team needs a right-handed bat. Josh Naylor, I forget. Josh Naylor's a lefty, right? He's not a switch hitter. I don't know why I'm blanking. My mind is jello right now, guys. Just a heads up. He's not a switch hitter, right? Yeah, he's a lefty. I for some reason I thought he was a switch hitter. Yeah, I think Josh Naylor would be great on this team. He's a lefty bat. The D-backs want to trade in division. Are the D-backs going to trade? I don't know. And if they trade in division, you're probably going to, if the D-backs, be asking for a little more because you would trade in, to an in-division rival. I don't know if that would be the case, but Josh Naylor is a good name out there. My guess is if his name is on the trade block, Padres will probably call, and they won't be the only team. He's having a really good season. He's in 296, 11 home runs, 58 RBIs, 11 stolen bases, and 822 OPS. He turned his career around once he left San Diego in a huge way with Cleveland, starting in 2022. Kind of when he, broke out there. And in 2023, he was fantastic. And then 2024 just took off to the moon. 31 homers, 108 RBIs with 776 OPS. He had 27 doubles. He was just fantastic in Cleveland. And he's been a good pickup for the D-backs. Problem is, D-backs are just kind of like blah. They're not really that great. So we'll see what happens there. But he's definitely a name to look on the trade block for multiple teams. Carlos, thanks for the super. Naylor stabbed a teammate in the minors at Miami. I don't know if that's true or not, but yeah. Make Carlos the name co-host of the show and call it Everything Sucks. Carlos is just a very passionate fan. I get it, dude. That's how I'm with my Niners. They'll win a game and like this fucking like I'll lose my mind. I get it. It's like the only way Carlos will ever, this is not a knock on you, buddy. Like the only way you're ever going to be satisfied is the second the final out happens of the World Series and they win the World Series. And then it's like, all right, you can breathe. Like, they did it. Until then, everything's just, it's just a grind. I get it, dude. I get it. All right, hold on a second here, guys. Let me pull up SeatGeek here. All right, let me just pull this up here. Stand by, everybody. If you guys want to go to the Padres D-backs game this week, just make sure you use our promo code PODSWRAP and you go to SeatGeek. SeatGeek is MLB's official ticket marketplace. They have, tickets fully guaranteed. Once you buy and purchase your tickets, just looking at the SeatGeek right now, tomorrow night, if you guys want to go, let's look at the cheapest ticket here, $50 ticket here. All right. $50, section 235, row 4. It's an amazing deal, according to SeatGeek. $50 per ticket. Use our promo code PODSWRAP, PADSWRAP. Get $20 off your first order of $50 or more. So you're getting in, I'm not good at math. You're getting in for, $29.90 tomorrow night if you use our promo code. So make sure you use our promo code PODSWRAP. It's MLB's official ticket marketplace. As you see there, green means good, red means bad when you're looking for tickets. They have a ticket scale of 1 to 10. So you know what you're getting, you know what's a good deal and what's a bad deal. So once again, use our promo code PODSWRAP, PADSWRAP. Go to SeatGeek right now, pick up your tickets, and enjoy the game on us. All right. Let me move this here and do that. All right. So we'll get to some more of your comments before I head out of here. Thank you again, Carlos, for the super, buddy. Appreciate it. It says, I have earned the right after watching Orlando Hudson, Kyle Blanks, Kevin Craig, etc. I have known true pain, and only a World Series will heal this wound. I get it. When you watch this team for as long as you have, and you've seen guys like Orlando Hudson and Corey Spangenberg and Austin Hedges and Ryan Schimpf, who else? Alexia Marista, Hunter Renfroe, who's kind of a nice player, but anyway, Manny Margot, Carlos, I forget his name. He's won like National League Player of the Week. Derek Norris. Yeah, those are just like the recent Padres from bad teams. Yeah, I get it. I totally get it. Promo code is totally worth it. Yeah, use our promo code PODSWRAP, PADSWRAP. Let's see here. Any more supers here? Nope. Okay, I saw one more question here that I want to get to from you guys. Jamal, this is not a Padres question, but he asked, so I will answer. Hey, Jim, don't forget that the pre-sale is tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. for WWE Survivor Series War Games. Actually, it's not really a question. That's just more of a statement. But yeah, be prepared to spend hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars tomorrow morning. Those things are going to sell out quickly. And I was thinking, going to Petco Park for War Games would be awesome. But yeah, sometimes it's like, do I want to spend $700 to go to a WWE event when I could just watch it on my couch and same experience? But it will be pretty cool to see WWE at Petco Park. That is for sure. Pre-sales at 8. Okay. Oh, well, look at you, Quan. Must be nice. I do want to go to War Games. I would love to go to War Games. I'll look. I'll look. I know, dude. You know how hard it is to get a press pass, bro, for WWE. Maybe we could try. What I'm doing is I'm gonna hopefully bank on iHeart, maybe having some tickets left over or something. Oh, this is a good name. Odrisamer Despaigne. Remember when he almost threw a no-hitter for this team? That was fun. Yeah, it is going to be Seth. Love Shimp. Yeah, it probably is going to be Seth Rollins against like a combination of Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn and stuff. All right, guys. Got one more thing here to got to get to, and then we're going to head out for the night. Make sure if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. We are, let's see here. Just look at the count here. How many subscribers are we away? Yeah, we're inching closer to 10K subs. So if you have not subscribed, hit that subscribe button right now. And finally, Underdog Fantasy, new customers deposit get up to $1,000 in cash bonuses. Use our promo code PODSWRAP, PADSWRAP. It's very easy to play, very simple to play. You always see us playing, and all you got to do is pick 2 players from separate teams, higher or lower on stats like home runs, hits, strikeouts, innings pitched, and then you could win big time money. But what you have to do is download the Underdog Fantasy app right now and use our promo code PODSWRAP, PADSWRAP, and then you can start playing, and hopefully you guys can win a bunch of money thanks to the wrap-up show. All right, guys, if there are no more questions here, we're going to call that a night. Tomorrow, John and Jim, 2 p.m. Make sure you guys tune into that. If you haven't, go subscribe to our YouTube channel, John and Jim 760. If you didn't know, we have a radio show every day, 2 to 6 p.m. on San Diego Sports 760. So tomorrow, Kevin Acey will join the show, and then we'll have another wrap-up show tomorrow night. Hold on one second. Hold on one second, guys. Nope. Yeah. All right. So yeah, that'll be it for tonight. We'll have wrap-up show tomorrow night for you. So until then, this is the wrap-up show. Make sure you subscribe, hit that like button, and we'll talk to you guys tomorrow afternoon at 2 p.m. Peace out.